I got nothing from James. You want to give him a minute? I mean, I can make a motion to move the consent agenda down.
Yeah, move it. Just move it. But actually, do we need to? Yeah,
Or we can,
we don't need, I don't think. You'd have to go on snowing, so you have to come back into the snowing.
he would have to vote on it.
Yeah. Well, come on. The only three.
Yes. Oh, yeah. At least, yeah, not like in Western Province,
All right, let's call the December 11th Town Council meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So quickly, I just want to say that we changed a little bit. So we moved the public comment to the end before executive session. We're trying something new here. So I can discuss that then. Let's move on to the.
James is here.
Great. All right. All right, Kathleen.
Okay, I'm gonna make a, what? I'm gonna make a motion on the consent agenda to remove under hotel motel business licenses, number 1, Heidi Rogers, DBA Stonehouse Inn, 162 Danielson Pike, and also under other licenses, new and existing, number 23, Elizabeth Stone, DBA Cornerstone Farm, 86 Forster Center Road.
All right, we have a motion. We need a second. Second. Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 That's removed. Okay. Now for the remainder of the consent agenda.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda minus the 2 businesses that Catherine just made a motion on. Yeah, that's it. Just minus those 2.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion?
No?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Yeah, it was good. Be a lot easier. The remainder of the consent agenda for the 2 items.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the 2 businesses license renewals for Heidi Rogers, DBA Stonehouse Inn Incorporated, 162 Danielson Pike, and Elizabeth Stone, DBA Cornerstone Farm, 86 Forster Center Road.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Right. This is. Okay, public hearing, to open the public hearing. Notice is hereby given by the Forster Town Council, being the licensing board in said town, that a public hearing will be held on December 11th, 2025, 6 P M at the Benjamin Eddy Building, 6 South Killingley Road, Forster, Rhode Island, at which time and place all persons are entitled to be heard. Matthew Labonte, applicant for a private detective license, 30 Victory Highway, Forster, Rhode Island, has applied to said council for a business license for the year ending December 31st, 2026. If communication assistance is needed, please contact the town clerk. By the order of Forster Town Council, Susan Dillon, Forster Town Clerk. So I'll entertain a motion.
No, just.
Just. Oh, the public hearing's open, so. Any discussion on the license?
Is the applicant here?
He is not.
He is not. Okay.
No, he couldn't make it.
He did. Okay.
If you'd like, Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah has information if we have any questions.
Okay. Yeah.
Sarah.
Sarah Brailsford, Deputy Clerk. Mr. Labonte was seeking his license to be a private investigator for other companies that required him to get that license in this town.
Mhm.
Wasn't something that we currently offered, so we had the public hearing for him. He'll be investigating different fire investigation. Is mainly what his business is for.
Okay. And Sue, everything is all set, all of
Yep.
its requirements have been met.
Mhm.
All right, any other discussion?
Anybody?
Anyone in favor or against? Okay. Motion now.
You can close-
Oh, yeah, close the public hearing. Actually, that. Just close that public hearing.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I'll close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to approve the application for a private detective license for Matthew Labonte, 30 Victory Highway, Foster, Rhode Island.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I will now open the public hearing for. No,
Would you, do you want me to read that one?
not gonna.
Oh, okay.
Notice is hereby given by the Forster Town Council, being the licensing board in said town, that a public hearing will be held on December 11th, 2025 at 6 P M at the Benjamin Eddy Building, 6 South Killingley Road, Forster, Rhode Island, at which time and place all persons are entitled to be heard. Greenwave CC Incorporated, owner Christopher Sands for 187 Danielson Pike, Forster, Rhode Island, has applied to said council for a cannabis retail business license for the year ending December 31st, 2026. Communication assistance is needed, please contact the town clerk. By order of the Forster Town Council, Susan M. Dillon, Forster Town Clerk. Okay, so the public hearing is open. Is there any discussion?
Is Chris Sands here?
Chris here? Chris there. Okay.
Chris, would you
Chris.
like to come up and just give us a little bit of detail about the business and what you're going to be doing?
Hi,
Hi, Chris.
everybody.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I'm a licensed physician assistant with a master's degree in health and a DEA license. So I started off in this industry to help people, and that's what I'd like to continue doing. I appreciate the opportunity to bring this business to you. We'll be a retail business, and sometimes when you're caught up in the swing of everything, you kind of forget about the simplicities of what you're actually doing, and I'll try to reflect that right now. We make purchases from outside licensed cultivators through the state of Rhode Island. Their packages come in all pre-scanned, where a barcode, everything's packaged when it comes in. It gets entered into a state tracking system. Those packages get broken down individually, and each individual state program called metric. Like the oversight is very spot on. It's almost no room for error. We look forward to doing business here. So far, we're getting some great feedback from people.
Good.
We've got security on staff that's keeping an eye on the lot, making sure that everybody's happy. It's ADA compliant. Just trying to do the right thing. Do you have any questions about it?
No, you're medicinal and recreational. I've been by in the past probably 3 days and I've just seen the parking lot is full. I mean, the work, I look forward to being able to see the inside. I haven't been in there yet, but I'm hoping to on Saturday. I'd love to see the inside. But, you're the kind of business that, we really need in town. You don't put a demand on our education system, on our, emergency services, on our police. So I think it's a great business to have in town. It's good for you, but it's also really, really good for us.
Thank you. I look forward to giving you a tour.
Yes,
Actually gave Chief Lindell a call today and offered her a tour as well. So
Okay.
if anybody would like to come.
Saturday is
Sign
the,
in and we have to give you a badge, but I'll be happy to show you around and
So
spend some time with you.
Saturday is the official ribbon cutting,
Yes,
at 8 a.m. promptly when your doors open.
correct.
Okay, just wanted people to know that.
Correct. So far, all the traffic up to now has been all static and prepared.
Yeah, that's what I figured. There's
Yeah.
a lot, and you're looking for additional workers too?
Yes. Yeah,
It's good to know.
It is.
Yeah.
That's really good. I think it's gonna be a good thing for Foster.
Yeah.
if anybody does or shows any interest, as far as a position, you could reach out to us or just send them down directly and we'll get them into the system.
Okay, I had somebody reach out to me today that was interested. So I can talk to you about that later, but somebody already reached out to me being interested in working.
Okay.
I will say, it really makes the place look nice.
It does.
What you did to the building there.
Yeah, it looks nice.
It definitely does.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Mhm.
As you know, it was
Oh, it was a long process. But it's done.
Yeah,
It's here.
great. Thank you.
Any other
Thank you.
discussion under the hearing?
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Cody Rogers, 61 Cucumber Hill Road, understanding the logistics on a town like this, trying to generate business. Been tried many, many years. When I was a kid, Route 6 was loaded with businesses. 55 years ago, it was the main runway to Cape Cod and into Connecticut. There wasn't 295, 95 had just started. So many motels, many places on Route 6 that have disappeared. Being a former on the commission in the town for business EDAC. It was difficult. Everybody thinks they want a Dave's supermarket, a bank, and this and that, but in reality, the town can only, the businesses want to have to come here. So it kind of leaves us limited. I will say, there were some concerns about traffic and stuff. What we got to understand is Connecticut's already legalized. Massachusetts already legalized. The closest one to this facility is actually right down in Dayville, Connecticut. So there are these places around us in Mass and Connecticut, and again, right off of 101 in Connecticut. So it's not, I don't think we're gonna have that gold rush that some people were concerned about with, oh, we're gonna need a light and the traffic and everything else. But the good part about the business is, in the state of Rhode Island, it's the highest generating municipality. We do get hotel motel tax, gets 1% sent back to the municipalities. We're not banging the bank a lot in the town of Forster, but the only one on the compassion centers is a 20% sales tax of everything going out the door hit on the register. 20%. 3% comes directly to the municipality that houses the dispensary. So you could kind of do the math yourself. If you have $1 million worth of merchandise going out the door, which I would believe is pretty reasonable to meet. And you figure out, not only that, the building's generating a lot more property tax in the condition it is now.
Yes.
The value is probably tripled
Mhm.
on the tax rolls. And you bring that 3% additionally in and everything going out the door. I think it's gonna be one of your major drivers into the town of Forster. So that's all I wanted to say. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
I'm totally in favor of it.
Okay.
I mean, cannabis has never been my thing personally, but no, but it has a lot of medicinal value. I think it's a great business with low demand on our services. I think it's a great business.
I feel the same way.
And it does look,
I think so too.
it looks
Building is
great.
great. Yeah.
It really does.
Property, the whole
I
property.
think that.
It does.
Other
Well,
people want to come.
We get if you get people that come in to Green Wave, then they may stop at Shady's for lunch, or if it's later, they may go to Lucky's to eat. Or our gas stations. Yeah.
Right.
It brings people in that could hopefully support our other businesses as well.
All right.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna close that public hearing. And I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the application of Green Wave CC Inc. for at 187 Danielson Pike for a cannabis retail business license for the year ending December 31st, 2026.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Welcome to Foster.
Welcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to entertain a motion to move item number 3, Community Learning Center Municipal Grant, to number 1.
I'll make a motion to move under old business, number 3, Community Learning Center Municipal Grant Update to number 1, above police building.
Yep. Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Yeah. So we had a groundbreaking in Gloucester yesterday for the library. There were grants that opportunity that came in for the Community Learning Center through the governor. At that time, the current town council worked with the local libraries, and the local libraries here we couldn't use it with the libraries here. They couldn't meet the standards, nor the reporting, the time frame, the deadlines they were really strict. They're really strict. So we couldn't use it. So at that time, that town council and Kelly worked with the state and said, what can we do? Because we didn't want to send it back. So the perfect opportunity was to share it with another town. And Gail is here. She's the executive director of Gloucester Libraries, and that's what we chose to do. So we didn't send that back to the state. We sent to them so we can utilize it together.
That was a very wise decision.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be very nice.
I really appreciate this opportunity to speak to you about what's happened at Gloucester Libraries, in part because of the town of Foster. And what we want to do is encourage and invite everybody in the community here to take advantage of the enhanced programming that we'll be doing at our libraries. Each library now has 3 private places where folks can come in for telehealth. If they need to do a remote appointment, they want to do some sort of study or education online, they can reserve those rooms and use those. Harmony Library is putting on a new community room, Gloucester Manton downstairs. The whole bottom level was renovated. We have a new community room, and not only does it look good, it smells beautiful. We have a new French drain, quick humidification, so we're very happy at Gloucester Manton. But I'm hoping that folks here will take advantage of We're going to have health monitoring programs. We'll have getting ready, very well structured, getting ready for kindergarten for children as well as their parents. We're going to be teaching Common Core math to parents. So we're resilient. If this were to happen again and you're stuck home with your kid and they've got Common Core math and you have no clue, hopefully you'll have taken advantage of this and you'll know what you're doing. So what we'll be doing is we'll be reaching out to the town hall. We'll be reaching out to Jane at our libraries here, letting them know on a monthly basis what's going on. You can go to our website, we'll be in the Foster Home Journal. Everything will be there. Please take advantage of it. I hope you encourage everybody to do so. Give the libraries a call or you can register right online for these programs.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be
Excellent.
great.
Common Core math. My grandkids come to me with their homework and ask me to help them. And I'm like, why do you need so many steps to get to the answer? So
Yeah,
is
it's
that
really good.
the kind of stuff that it,
That's the kind of, yeah,
Okay.
what we're trying to do is, by the time we got this, I'm gonna be honest about this, by the time we got this money. Employment had already been back from COVID. You know, kids were back in school and we're trying to figure out, what are we gonna do? I mean, we know what we're gonna do with the money, we're gonna improve ourselves. And we're gonna hit these 3 areas that we have to hit, but why not be resilient? Why not be proactive?
Mhm.
We're thinking now forward, so hopefully. And here, anyone has some concerns or whatnot, please call us, talk to us, if there's a program you need. I'm gonna get in touch with Jane.
Let's get rid of
We can
Jane,
get
yeah,
a
absolutely.
Survey going out, and just to see what's needed here, I'm sure the same thing is needed here as.
Yeah.
Lost.
right?
Yeah.
So thank you for your time.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
How much was that grant?
Well, 380.
300,
Yeah.
Thank you.
We did meet with the library. The library didn't have
Yeah.
any funding left after they purchased the land. They weren't organized. They didn't know how much they needed. So originally, when we reached out to Situate and Gloucester, it was to see if they would donate their funding to us so that we could give them enough money to build the library. Gloucester had a plan and Situate wasn't even sure. They hadn't even assigned their money to anybody or to anybody to do it. Do anything with it. If you look at Situate's now, they never took advantage of the money. So, we didn't have enough money. Gloucester did have enough money if we provided them our assistance. Rather than send it back to the state of Rhode Island, as so many communities did, because I
Yeah.
think only
Yeah.
18 communities were able to take advantage of it. We wanted to see a neighboring community benefit from it, which in turn benefits our residents as well.
Yeah.
Because so often our smaller communities can't take advantage of these things. So we didn't want to give it back to Providence and all these other bigger communities. They had enough funding. We wanted to help them.
Yeah, this was a very strict grant. We
Yeah,
had.
It was.
And we had to be able to,
Monitor
we have,
programming.
yeah, we have to provide programming, 3 different programs of this library, 3 different programs of that library. You have to hire people to come in, you have to have MOUs. I
Right.
mean, we're going to, for 5 to 10 years, we're gonna have to
Right.
keep track of this and we will be audited at the end of it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, and the initial timeline was pretty strict too. Yeah.
To be clear, we didn't meet the standards. We would have to get the money back. We
Yeah.
weren't willing at the time to put our horse behind
Yeah.
the library's plan because they weren't organized enough.
They weren't
Even
ready.
Right.
They were not willing to even commit at that point.
Mm.
And then the state actually interceded and said that they would have to approve our program. And based on where we were at the time, they said they were gonna be better. Because they just didn't have enough funding to complete it, so they didn't want to set the municipalities up for failure. Knowing that they were gonna come back and force us to reimburse the funding. So, because ideally, we really did want to see it go to one of our community, like
Our neighbors.
Yep.
Yeah.
or we were gonna try to institute something. Our other thing that we vetted was through the not the Bend. We do a Woody to run our own programs, but we would have had to actually hire somebody to run those programs, monitor those programs and report back to the state of Rhode Island. We had so many good for you that you guys are willing to do it, but we had to put who attended, like whether or not they were meeting the standards. Show that we were, had programs to, suit all different ages, not just school age, elderly, physical fitness, health, welfare, all of these different things. We would have had to hire a staff member to do that. And we had to show these standards, that we met these standards for 5 consecutive years. We would have never been able to do it. So libraries are already grandfathered in based on their resources, in the way that they know that they meet all those standards for meeting all the different demographics. The older generation, the younger generation. So where we wouldn't have, we would have had to go and prove it and record it and standardize it. The schools couldn't commit to it. And you can't add on to a school with that funding. You can't make any capital improvements to a school. It had to be like a different type of setting, so. We tried to use it, I really did, but
Yeah.
we couldn't, and I was glad to give it to a neighbor truthfully.
Yeah, definitely.
And Gail's been
Definitely.
great for it.
Yeah, I'm glad it benefited a neighbor and.
Report me being here tonight to the state.
I'm sure.
Mhm.
I have
Sure.
known that a group of people so needy in my life, all of the federal programs.
Wow.
They are demanding and needy, thank God. we
Yeah.
Did not get it.
Wow.
I could not have done it.
Grant like this, she
She
said,
said that.
this is absolutely
Cause I.
remarkable. So-
Wow.
That's a good word.
Mm,
Yep, yep.
And I think spending that money, if you don't tick all their boxes, you owe them everything that you took in Gloucester's.
Wow.
Would be $1 million.
Right, so,
I would not wanna walk into a town council and say, guess what?
yeah,
I would just crumble.
right,
So it-
no offense to you too, Gloucester's not on the hook for our 381,
Right.
so if they
We are.
don't need.
Yeah.
Right.
Put it in that message,
Yes.
understand that
The MOU
Gloucester
is
is
also
also
placed.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yes.
a liability.
Yep.
right,
It's an honor.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gail.
Thank you for coming. There were, I saw on social media, there were a lot of questions about this. And people wondering what happened to the grant and why didn't we get it? So I think now, hopefully, people see this and they've got a good explanation. They will.
It's nice to see. A library is beneficial because you can go to any. But you're running programs. Now.
Right.
Make an extra effort. to
Yeah,
make
it's-
us wants to participate. I hope that's what they see and they realize.
Yep. So when some of those programs are overbooked, you're gonna prioritize Gloucester, Foster, because they're part of the program.
We have to put in out of the grant. That 2 days later, someone called and said, I'm doing an online interview. Do you have a space for me?
You're gonna get a lot of that.
Mm.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yep. Even the telehealth.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have it at home. They can't do it at home. So
Right.
they need a place to go. That's gonna be big.
So-
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
Will Foster be getting a report of how many of our residents use the facility? Or take advantage of the
I
programs?
think that's, I don't think they have to separate.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't, they get a,
The usage.
yeah, I think they have to report usage.
The state will receive a report. The state will, always will, just that's part of our regular reporting. When people call the library to register for a program, we don't ask where they're from.
Mm.
That's,
Yeah.
we welcome everybody. But like I said, we will make an extra effort to.
Right.
Yep.
And if there, I'm just assuming, if there's a program that's limited in space because they're running, say, a program on social security and how to sign up or whatever, and they have a limit of 20 people. And they do recognize that they're not all from Gloucester, I'm sure they will include Foster, correct?
Like I said.
You don't ever ask,
Yeah.
right, so, okay,
You know what? Speaking with the children's library, typically we give first dibs to children who are in Gloucester or coming to our story time because we have limited space.
right,
And I said to her today, I said, we can't do that anymore. We have to invite Foster in, so
okay,
we will be hiring, actually be hiring a teacher, we'll have the funds to hire a teacher to come in and to prepare children
right.
for kindergarten, so I really hope that's
great.
Yeah.
Take-
They will be reporting to the state their programs and what they're for. So they can, I mean, if I get a report and somebody were to ask me for a copy of that report, I would give it to you. I would provide it. But
Okay. I think we'll go with this one.
point of order, it would be important for the people, I'm not picking on anybody, but a lot of people at home watch these meetings later.
Yeah, no, I
And if
I
they're
didn't
not
think
up at the
of,
microphone, this is completely
Yeah.
lost.
Oh.
You know, we're trying to get information out,
Yeah.
and the way we're operating, it's
Yeah.
not getting information out.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're. Yeah.
okay, we're gonna move on to the police building update. There's actually there's not a lot to report on the police building right now. We're still moving forward. Everything's going good. They moved the mounds of dirt, as you can see, so now it looks like you can see the foundation. It's ready to put walls up. We do have a meeting on Monday, so we're gonna finalize some more things on Monday. And that is here. So everyone's welcome to come to that meeting. That's all I have about that. Is there any questions about the police building? No? Okay. New ordinance, the vehicle damage, that's the one that we actually continued because we were waiting on information on the insurance or insurance policy, which we have now. So that's really the only change to that ordinance. So now we have a process. If you have vehicle damage due to a pothole, now we have a process in line where you can come in and actually file a claim. And it's all in that ordinance. Right, well, that's, yeah.
So, it says you need a valid copy of your Rhode Island registration.
Correct.
So if somebody has vehicle damage from Connecticut, somebody comes in and has vehicle damage, they have a Connecticut plate, does that still or it's
It has to
only-
be Rhode Island.
It has to be Rhode Island. Okay.
Yeah, it has to be Rhode Island.
Can I make a
Yep.
statement about this? Any state road with a vehicle damage pothole complaint has to go to the state police. Has to-
Yeah.
it's a
Right.
state-
Yeah, this isn't state,
it's-
this isn't state at all.
So this is
These aren't
not,
state roads. These are only town, roads.
Town.
these are only.
Only town roads, correct.
And what was your question, Sue? My question was, I read the ordinance and it says a copy of a valid Rhode Island registration. But if you're driving a Connecticut car, like say someone, we have people work in town that have Connecticut registration, that wouldn't count. So if something happened to their car, that wouldn't count. It's only Rhode Island. So only Rhode Island
Only
people
Rhode
can
Island,
get squared away?
So what we did is when we, yeah, so when we worked through this ordinance, we were looking at other towns and how they do it. And there's all the towns out in Rhode Island actually say Rhode Island. So they have to be registered in Rhode Island, and a lot of it has to do, some of it has to do with our insurance policies too.
So what happens if a Connecticut or a Mass licensed vehicle or person hits a pothole on Boswell?
They wouldn't be able to file a claim with us. They'd have to go directly to their insurance company.
You'd have to go where?
Their insurance company.
Okay.
Directly to them, yeah.
Because usually the police report or some sort of report has to be accompanied.
Right, which they, yeah, they can still do that. It's just they wouldn't be able to come into our town to actually file a claim through this ordinance.
Okay, but any
Yeah.
state road,
Any state road is covered by the state. That's
That's
not
right,
us. Yeah,
that's
that's not us. Yep.
Good.
All right, so we can actually entertain a motion to approve the new warrants for vehicle damage.
I'll make a motion to approve the new ordinance for vehicle damage.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great, that passes.
Can I get back to?
Okay, we're down to new business. A reappointment to the alternate on the zoning board, Ed Lawson.
I'll make a motion to reappoint Ed Lawson as an alternate on the zoning board for a wait a minute, here, let me see, I'm sorry. It looked like he had a 12/12/25 termination date. So for 1 year, but is it on the 12th? Is that just because that's when he was appointed? Okay, so for a 1 year term expiring December 12th, 2026.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, Passes. All right, Anthony Road Bridge and Hemlock Bridge letter to the Rhode Island DOT.
Would you like me to read it?
Yeah, you want to just briefly discuss? And we can read it too.
Sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can say-
Do you want me to read it first
yeah,
or
you
discuss
can read it.
first?
You can read it.
Okay, so because we've had concerns from residents about the Anthony Road Bridge, Walter, and you gentlemen sitting right there. And we did also have concerns about the Hemlock Bridge. So we are sending a letter to Rhode Island DOT because now they are in charge of bridge repairs. They're in charge of bridge repairs, and we are in charge of bridge maintenance. So we're going to send a letter to them, to Rhode Island DOT. Dear Rhode Island Department of Transportation Leadership, on behalf of Foster Town Council, we are writing to formally request urgent attention to two critical pieces of infrastructure in our community, the Anthony Road Bridge and the Hemlock Bridge. Both structures have been closed for quite some time, and significant concerns have been raised for public safety, emergency response, and overall accessibility for residents. These closures increase response times and in certain scenarios may prevent larger emergency apparatus from reaching residents in need. In a rural community where minutes can make a life-saving difference, the closures of these bridges poses an unacceptable risk. Additionally, both Anthony Road and Hemlock Road serve as routes for residents, school buses, and service providers. We respectfully request that Rhode Island Department of Transportation conduct a timely structural evaluation and place both bridges on an expedited repair or replacement schedule. Foster stands ready to collaborate with the Rhode Island Department of Transportation staff, provide access for inspections, and assist with any coordination necessary to move the process forward. Ensuring safe, reliable infrastructure is essential for the well-being of our residents and the effectiveness of our emergency services. We appreciate your attention to this matter and look forward to your response outlining the next steps and anticipated timelines. Thank you for your continued partnership and commitment to Rhode Island's rural communities. Sincerely, the Foster Town Council.
Entertain a motion to send that letter.
So moved.
Second. Motion and a second. Yeah, yep. And discussion? Yep, Mr. May. Yeah, can you put here, please? All right.
Walter May from Anthony Road. I would just want to let you know about the Hemlock Road Bridge. Some years ago, the reservoir had to do some repairs on their dam. They drained the reservoir, which lowered the table of the water around the Hemlock Bridge. At that time, we had a contractor redo the head walls on that bridge. So they might want to let the DOT make them aware of that so they can inspect the head wall instead of having to rebuild them. They've already been rebuilt.
That's good
And
to
the
know.
bridge was shut down shortly after that.
Right.
So it's had very little wear on. The other item that I wanted to mention is that you ought to be given some consideration to requesting 588 type steel. 588 type steel is similar to the steel that if you went down Route 6 to 295 overpass, you'll see the electric lines. Those are on 588 steel. 588 steel protects itself and reduces the requirement for maintenance. Now that bridge, that type of steel is used only in areas like Foster. You can't use it in salt and areas of salt water, but DOT has approved the use of 588 steel. to lower the maintenance cost to the town to maintain that bridge, request the 588 type steel.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Ferry?
What year was the decision made not to maintain the Anthony Road? The
don't know
town
when
had to
that-
make the decision. I know the state would make the decision.
Yeah, I'd have to research that. I'm not sure.
It was, Walter, were you on then? Were you?
When they decided not to?
Oh, when that decision.
Yeah.
Hold up in town, where somebody had said there was a survey made of the residents. And residents didn't want it placed. That was BS.
Well, I remember
don't-
the discussion. I didn't go to any council meetings prior to 2002.
Ooh.
And I know I was sitting in the audience when that was information that nobody wanted it redone was given.
Yeah,
So someone in town had to.
I can definitely research that. I'll find.
Yeah.
To maintain.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely get that information.
You would have to ask the state to take it apart.
I think it's going now, but I mean, yeah, but I think they, yeah,
No longer, if the town won't maintain a bridge, a town bridge, does the state automatically come in and remove it?
yeah, that I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Gordy Rogers, I'm speaking on 2 points, I'll start off. 2 hats, state senator, and also been in touch with, Rep. Chip Nail with conversations with council president.
Steve,
What's that?
I apologize, is the microphone on?
Yeah.
It's done. I'll start over again. Gordy Rogers, State Senate, District 21. Me and Chip Nail have had a conversation after I reached out with him, understanding the concern that the council had for this to try and put some headwinds on the sail on this. Once you guys get that letter, send that up to also the state legislature to me and Mike Chip, and we're also going to do a joint letter also to Rhode Island DOT to try and get something done with these 2 bridges. Taking that hat off, putting my highway director hat on. That bridge was, the deck was removed at the same time Old Danielson Pike was removed. The way the state scoring system works is they had an extremely horrible scoring system. And as long as a bridge deck was in play, even though the state, it was shut down, I would say over 20 years ago. 25 years ago, the bridge was shut down on 99, 2000. Old Danielson Pike Bridge, I believe, was removed. I think John Lewis was working with
He was.
DOT
Yeah.
to have excuse me. It's this, if you let me finish, you'll understand the point I'm getting at. When the state was going to come in to remove Old Danielson Pike on a state road, the reason they did, because they knew they were going to never repair it, but because the deck was still there, even though it was shut down with barriers, it affected the state's bridge total scoring system. So when they came into this town to remove that, there was an agreement with the council at that time, I believe, John Lewis, because he was working with hopefully getting a walking path across the Old Danielson State Bridge. That's why if you'll notice, if you go down there, the piers in the center piers were completely refinished, repointed, and repaired. Because what I'm told from Rhode Island DOT is the town was then going to put a walking bridge across that and using the center pier as support so they could get from one side to the other. But while they were here, the state, through the town at that same time, requested, the state wanted to remove Anthony Road Bridge, even though it is a town bridge, because it was shut down and barricaded off. By simply removing that, while the same contractor was in town doing Old Danielson Pike, they effectively improved their state scoring, basically low-hanging fruit for them to improve their scoring. So that's why it came out then. The bridges that the state is coming in and putting now, they're not using I-beams anymore. They're actually drilling down to ledge, tying it into ledge, filling the core with rock and then putting a concrete head wall on. And then they come in with precast concrete Cs.
Mhm.
Mill Road took 3 and they laid 3 of them on top, matched, and then they put the wing walls. The same thing with Ramtail. And the good part about that is on a beam bridge is a maintenance issue. You gotta keep them clean, you gotta keep the pigeons out and all the debris off, you gotta blow it down. And because we have water supply water, they want you to put nets underneath to catch everything. So it's pretty time consuming. You also have water scuppers that need to be kept clean so the water gets off the bridge so it doesn't rot the I-beams. These new concrete ones have no scuppers, have no I-beams. They're literally pretty much maintenance free. So that's what I have on that part. Me and Mike will do our due diligence to help this council and the town move forward. So we were just waiting for that letter to reach our desks.
Yeah, we'll get
Thank you.
there. And I appreciate your effort too.
Yep.
Doing that. Okay. Is there any more discussion on the letter? Yes. No, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I'll sign. Yep. No, I'll sign that letter. We'll get it out
Mhm.
right away.
With CCs to Gordon and Mike. Okay.
All right, so we have that motion. All in favor? Opposed? All right, it passes. We'll get that letter out right away. Okay. Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank, CPACE program. Mr. Poland.
Hello, evening, Jeffrey Poland, the planning fellow for the town. I'm here to provide a brief overview of the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank's Commercial Property Assessed Clean Energy Program, otherwise known as CPACE. I'm going to outline what's required of the town in order for local commercial properties owners to access the program's financial benefits. So CPACE, it's state-enabled. It's a financing mechanism that allows commercial property owners to undertake renewable energy and energy efficiency upgrades, improvements with minimal upfront cost. Through the program, property owners may finance eligible projects. These projects might include energy efficiency upgrades like building envelope improvements, investments in better windows, roofing, insulation, renewable energy projects like solar, things of that nature. So through private capital, private capital is then arranged by the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank. The distinguishing feature of the CPACE program is its repayment structure for applicants. Instead of conventional loans, the financing is repaid through a voluntary assessment, which is placed on the property and paid via the property tax over an extended term. As far as what's required of the town, all we have to do is formally opt into the CPACE program. And we would do that by executing a municipal CPACE agreement with the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank. And this requires approval by town council, and town council would ultimately pass a resolution in doing so. The Infrastructure Bank, following the agreement, the Infrastructure Bank then administers the program directly, and the town's role is limited to recording assessments, and then assigning those assessments to the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank to administer billing, invoicing, and collection of payments. No local underwriting or financial risk is imposed on the municipality. As far as the benefits, participation in the CPACE program can support local economic development, which I think it's apt that we're discussing this during this meeting with business licenses and talking about economic development in general. So the program is meant to benefit projects by reducing energy costs for commercial entities, encouraging capital improvements, enabling investments in renewable technologies, things of that nature. So it's designed to be fiscally neutral to the town while expanding opportunities for local business owners who may otherwise face prohibitive upfront costs. And that's it.
So it makes us more.
So
it makes us a little more appealing for a commercial business to come to town.
Right.
Because we're in this program.
Yep.
And we're already giving them an opportunity to save money.
Right. And more than that, a commercial property owner or entity wouldn't be able to opt into this program
if we're not.
If we're not, precisely. So they wouldn't benefit from the financial incentives provided by the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank unless we opt into the program.
So that's great.
Yeah.
I think that's just another step in attracting.
Yeah, and I just
Business.
want to confirm, and I know you said it, but there's no financial.
No, and that's what
Lighting, yeah.
Kelly and I were talking about.
Right, I want to make
Today,
sure.
as far as going through the
Yeah.
contract and ensuring that the contract language stipulates that there is no burden placed on the municipality other than assessing, recording the assessment and the lien, and then assigning it to the Rhode Island Infrastructure
Right,
Bank.
we're gonna rewrite the contract
Right.
that was in Sugar Sink.
Yep.
When I read it, it was very much our responsibility to track and record and bill through our system. And that would be a little prohibitive for us.
Yeah.
So
That's
when we
gonna happen.
discussed this with him, he said, no, this isn't in place. We will do this, but that is not
Yeah,
what's
and
represented.
that's why
in the-
today is just for discussion.
So,
Yeah, no,
so
yeah.
this is just discussion. We're
Yep.
working through the contract. We wrote notes in the body of of the contract that we were provided,
Mhm.
sent it back to them. They're gonna send it back to legal. He even admitted that he said that their legal had said something like, we should probably update this contract to more better represent the procedures that they currently have. So why they gave us that, I really don't know,
Yeah.
because it's not actually what's being done. So rather than have our solicitors work with this, we sent it back to them with all of our notes and asked them to rewrite it, and then we would present it to our solicitor. So it wouldn't really take up their time as
Yeah.
much, right?
So
To
we'll-
rewrite
It's
it.
on them.
We'll vote.
We have
At
to,
a future
basically,
date?
we
Yeah.
have to we have to record the lien, assign that to Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank, and then and then we will record their assignment from that to the capital provider,
Yep.
who's providing the capital to.
And then at that point,
We're
there's no
pretty much
more
on it. We do have to
responsibility.
monitor it. And if somebody, for example, if that property is sold, we have to,
You have to let 'em know.
or in jeopardy of going to tax
Right.
sale, we have to notify all parties.
Yep.
But to be honest with you, all tax sale properties are notified.
Mm.
All lien holders are
Mhm.
notified during the process of a tax sale.
Yep.
Right.
The one thing that is concerning to me is like an MLC. Our tax collector prepares all the MLCs, and that's not something that we would be able to provide. They want any lien to be told, to be communicated through an MLC process. And that's not actually doable
Mhm.
the way that we do it. And I'm not gonna be here for 20 years. Our collector's not gonna be here for 20 years, and we're gonna have to work that out.
Yep.
But other than that one thing, I think we can comply with all other requirements relatively easy and still make this a desirable program for any business that would want to utilize it. So basically, if you had $100,000 program, I think that they would provide you funding for up to say 35,000 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't have to include that in a construction loan.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
much easier for them to get. It's
You get capital up front too.
yeah, and you get
That's
capital
great.
up front.
I just think that's great.
Yeah,
for
that's great. Telling
for
business-
attracting
businesses.
more
Yeah,
business.
absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
And this was part of our economic development plan. when
Yeah.
We had that company come in,
Yeah.
was to work with the planner to find programs like
Yep.
this to make it
Excellent.
Yep.
desirable to come to Boston.
And that's what we.
And this
Yes.
is one of them, so.
Yep.
Good job.
That's
Jeff.
great.
Awesome,
Yeah.
Jeff. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something that maybe more Kelly answer. When I looked up this program, one thing, and I didn't understand it. It said it can be financed with no money down and then repaid as a benefit assessment on the property tax bill over a term that matches the useful life of improvements and or construction infrastructure, either
Mhm.
20 or 30 years. What does
Mhm.
that mean?
So basically, if the solar is good for 25 years. So basically, they could finance that over the life of the 25 years. So they don't have to come up with big money now. So if it's $100,000 project, they could pay minimal amount over the next 20 years.
What's a benefit assessment on property tax?
So
Probably answer that. I think the assessment is made against the potential energy savings that would
Right.
occur.
wow.
So that's the
Energy
benefit
savings.
that they would be assessing.
I don't know.
As
They're
far as-
gonna
as
work
far
with
as
us on
accountants,
that.
It's repaid as part of like the property tax.
Right, so-
Property tax bill.
they're saying it's part of the property tax bill, but they're going to be responsible for billing it. So we're not going to have to, we'll work with them on the assessment and the valuation. We'll probably coordinate with them, but they're going to do most of that. And then as far as the billing, I was concerned about the billing and the collection and all of that. We're not in the business of
Yeah.
chasing down unpaid bills. So, well, we are unfortunately, but we don't want to add to that possibility, right? And then somehow be on the hook. And we wouldn't be. I vetted that quite thoroughly. There's other programs that people might remember. There's septic programs out there that we were hesitant to get involved in because we had to be part of it. We have to sign on to that program so that our taxpayers can go and get lower interest loans through septics for septic systems. But the difference in that is we are actually on the hook if they don't pay it back.
Yeah.
And we would have to reserve our fund balance in the general fund for that. And that's reflected in our financial statements. And as a small community, we weren't willing to take on that extra responsibility and liability, really. None of this program has it's very different. We have zero real responsibility, very limited responsibility and zero liability, which is, is important.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to make sure.
Yes. We did it.
All right.
Yeah.
Make that, to put that on the next agenda so that we could vote for that,
Yep.
please. And
We'll
then
have-
we'll
we'll
have
have
a
it.
contract that we will vet with either Laura or Joanna in between that
Yeah.
and put it in Sugar Sync when we get it. And
Okay.
the next meeting should be enough time to get that all done.
Okay, public comment. We have no public comment. Just for announcement. Oh, I'm sorry. You wanna?
Public comment?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's why. That was a question.
I know this was an experiment to have it at the end of the
Yeah.
meeting. However, I do understand that it will weed out someone coming in just for the beginning of the meeting and going off on a tangent but however, it also eliminates those people. For example, the gentleman who owns what used to be Black Forest Farm. And he's concerned, about how the legalities were going. And he came up a couple of times in public comment or concerned citizens, whatever it was called at that time, to ask about that. And that would mean he wouldn't be able to do that
Well, no,
in public.
He can come to public comment.
Well, I know he can, but he's got to wait through an entire meeting.
Right. So the reason I'm trying this, and it may not work right now. The reason I'm trying it is I've received phone calls before. Our meetings are very efficient and we move fast, as you know. They don't make it in time for public comment. That's what it was. It wasn't the inverse. That's fine if someone comes in and leaves. I had no problem with that. I don't, if they don't want to stay, that's fine. They can come in later now. If they really don't want to stay for the whole meeting, just come in for public. So that's fine. I'm not gonna, tell somebody they can't, if they didn't sign that in the beginning, that you can't have public comment in the end. That's not what's gonna happen. I'm doing this to give more people an opportunity to speak in public comment because there are people that can't make it here for 6.
Right. And
That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah. And
And it may not work, but.
yeah, my other comment was, for example, sometimes people come up to make sure that they can speak on a certain item that's on the agenda because they're not 100% sure.
Yep,
For example, something on the consent agenda.
yep.
And you want to be sure that you're going to have an opportunity to
Yeah, so-
speak, or you're going to do it under public comment. One of the, you
Yeah,
take
so-
your time
yeah.
then.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
the meeting
it's
will
still
be
gonna.
over.
No, we discussed consent agenda items. That can be discussed.
Okay.
So that doesn't have to be done in public comment. We can discuss it as it's come forward. Yeah,
But it's already been voted on, the consent agenda.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's,
No.
by then you would have already voted on the consent agenda.
Yeah.
And it may have been some item that somebody had some unknown information about.
so you're saying if you had public comment prior, that you can bring up some information before the consent
Right.
agenda. You can also bring it up during the consent agenda.
Okay, and so we can
It's a-
speak, because I know
Oh, yeah.
at one point it was like, no, you can't.
Oh, no, no, yeah, no, we spoke on the consent agenda.
Initially-
No, I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
No.
initially it was like, this is the consent agenda, it's already.
oh, no, we always allowed it. Yeah, we always allowed it.
Wasn't this?
Yeah.
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't this.
Yeah, it was, because I remember I was the one.
No, you spoke,
I did speak, but
Yeah.
I had to say, no, this has been done before.
right. And
Right,
and you-
because
yeah.
I wasn't going to be allowed to initially.
Right, because and that was me.
Right.
Yeah,
So now you can speak.
yeah, everyone's been able to speak. That was just a question, and you did, and you did speak that day. Yeah.
Changed.
Yeah.
Right,
There was no,
right,
yeah, yeah. So no, none of that's gonna change. None of that's gonna change. Like I said, I'm just trying to give an opportunity to more people to actually come in and speak on public comment. And again, it may not work because people may want it in the beginning. We'll see how it works.
And people do speak on agendas, I mean, agenda items as we,
Yeah,
once we
as
have
we-
a motion
as
and then
part-
we have
as-
discussion, the audience always does participate.
Linda Tibbetts, Mill Grove. Kind of the same thing. I had a comment on something that was in the license renewals.
Mhm.
But I didn't realize that we weren't going to be able to, I didn't realize it was going to be all voted on before I could speak. Which is interesting.
No, still could have spoken.
We had,
I didn't know, no one said, does anybody have any?
I have it up, I
Yeah.
have it up for
After
discussion.
the second
I always say that.
is discussion.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
So I have one question, and this is about the coastal Atlantic on Mill Road. It's about hours of operation. And is it appropriate for large trucks to be moving at midnight or 12:30 in the morning during the week? Or are their business hours more regulated than that? We've been having some large trucks going down flatbeds with items on them, and the flatbeds are coming back empty. I don't know why, and I'm not sure which auto yard they're going to. And I just
Okay.
was curious if there is a time constraint for hours of operation? Or if,
Yeah, we can't,
or if both.
we can't actually discuss that in public comment. You can bring that to us and we can take note of that and we'll let
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, and also there are two auto salvage yards there. I don't know if both of them are in operation.
One, I think.
I don't think either one.
They've both done that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. And I had one comment about that really nice looking new gasoline station, the Village Gasoline. Has it has a lot of lighting. I think it has way more lighting than is necessary for safety. And I was wondering if the town council thinks that that's appropriate for the development of Route 6. Are lots of businesses going to have that much lighting, or do you have any lighting regulations for illumination?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the.
Yeah,
diagrams.
and the lights are dark sky lights. I mean, they're not glaring up,
Mm.
but there are way more than they need for safety at that location. Route 6 will look like Route 2 if all the businesses start to do that.
Mm.
Just
Okay.
comment.
Thank you.
Woody Rogers, this is pertaining to that. It may have been, and how long ago was the trucks come up and down? Because we had a lot of trucks when the bridge was finished and they had okay, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah,
It didn't have anything.
I just want, because there was a lot of trucks coming in and out when that was going on, and that bridge just came online. All right, thanks.
Anything else for public comment? Yes, Mr. May.
Just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah.
sir,
You too.
Merry Christmas.
Guys.
With that, I have announcements. Just the one announcement I have is we had Bright Nights the other night, and
Mm.
again, Rec Department did a great job setting that up. I want to thank the two DPW workers that volunteered their time, Harry and Dave.
It was
they-
cold.
Yeah,
too.
it was cold.
Twisted.
So it was a
It
great
was.
night though. It was great to see all the families out there. So the next thing that comes up, I'd like to see all the same families out there. All right.
Awesome.
So I want to say that's all I have for announcements.
Okay.
All right.
I move to go into executive closed session pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 42-46-5 for the discussion of personnel according to Rhode Island General Laws 42-46-5A1, and to reconvene in open session, and further to keep the minutes of said meeting closed and the minutes of all executive sessions held previous to this meeting be closed and remain to provisions of the General Laws of Rhode Island 42-46-4 and 5.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to go to executive session. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are now in executive session.